Hey everybody, welcome back to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. So today, we're going to break bad. It's going to be Boozy, it's going to be Smokey, it's going to be circa Corleone, and it's going to be a razor that Heisenberg would use. Take a look at this, we'll be right back. Hey kids, hope everything's going well. So I said in the intro, it's going to be Smokey, Boozy, and Breaking Bad. So we'll tell you all about that a little bit later. But before we get started, as always, please help out the channel, help out our forum, www.theshavingcadre.com. Please come and see us. We think you'll really enjoy it. And there's all kinds of gentlemanly pursuits there, not just shaving, but bring the whole family. It's also family friendly as well. And if you'd please help out the channel, right over here you'll see a barber pole with a cowboy hat. Please click on that. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. And then down here you'll see a bell. Click that bell for notifications, and then like, comment, all that kind of good stuff on the videos. You know, I've used this soap, well, I've used this entire combo on videos before, but I just keep going back to it because it's such a wonderfully lathering soap. And it just, the fragrance. Most of you guys know that I enjoy whiskeys and cigars and the Rat Pack and vintage stuff. So this soap is perfect for that. Yesterday, if you watched my video, at the very end of the shave, I was cleaning up. I realized that I had caught myself right down here, and I don't know what I did, but it was like follicle gone wild. I mean, it got swollen, and finally, you know, it went down, but I guess I cut myself a little bit more than I thought. The razor today, since you'll see it, is, and this is why I said the Heisenberg razor, it's probably the coolest looking razor, just overall. A shorter blade, wonderful scales and everything else. And yes, I give you the Wacker Chevalier, and it is just a fun razor to use. Very well balanced. Now, unlike my Stark, this one does have a muted point. So it makes it a little bit safer, but still, it can still get you. The thing I like about this one is that this one really locks the tang, and the scales really can lock into your hand, which is nice. And it really just makes a nice extension to your hand. For those of you that are, first of all, I hope everybody's having a nice Monday, or in my case, my Saturday number 2, or better known as Barber Errand Day. We are, hold that thought, I gotta be careful where I nailed myself yesterday. There we go. We finally hit 100 degrees yesterday. Right at 100. but it never fails. As soon as we seem to hit 100, the first wildfire season, or wildfire of the season, starts. We've got a mountain resort just to the east of us that you have to go through Tucson to get to. And it's called Mount Lemon. It sits at about 10,000 feet. And it's the southernmost ski resort in the United States. And it's a lot of fun. There are a couple restaurants up there, a lodge. They just finished the cabins that you can rent. So it's really neat. Rose Canyon Lake's up there. But there's various campgrounds on the way up. The road's a nice twisty, about a 35-mile road to get up to the top. And we also have some observatories up there as well. But sadly, a fire broke out yesterday at Molino Basin, which is on the lower end of the mountain. But the campground, along with what they call the Gordon Habayashi campground, is right on the road on the way up there. And this wildfire started, and as of yesterday, it was small, about 80 acres, but in really bad terrain, and I guess it's getting worse now. And unfortunately, we're under what they call a red flag warning, which means we are so dry from a humidity standpoint that anything sparks and it's going to take off. And that's exactly what happened. They don't have containment on it yet, but they've got a number of helicopters, and one, they're actually using the DC-10 air tanker today. And that we can't see it from our backyard because we're on the exact opposite side of the mountain, so we're on the back side. But a lot of times during wildfire season, there's a helibase really close to the ranch, and they use that to stage from, because it's actually shorter coming over the canyon, which is called Romero Canyon, than it is flying through town. Plus, you know, with the helicopters, they got buckets of water. They don't want to dump it on the city, so they come over the rural areas. And usually we have a pretty good front row seat for that. So, fire season has started. We're supposed to be cooler today. Guess we're only supposed to get up into the high 80s, which is nice, because we've got plenty of time until the real bad stuff starts, where it gets really hot. Had a great Zoom call last night. Still missing a few friends that haven't been able to join us recently, but overall, a wonderful, wonderful call. As you may have noticed, I always do this, my last pass with a straight razor is always very thin. And I do that for a reason. It's very well hydrated, and it makes it super slick. This pass with this razor is the best, because you can really lock your finger in between the scales and the the top of the spine, and then you can lock your fingers right into that tang. The tang really comes out, which is kind of cool. The only thing that's a little off about this razor is that I find that with the shorter blade, I get used to having the longer blade, and I having to do a little bit more cleanup sometimes with this blade. But scything this blade is extremely easy, which is nice as well. But the shorter blade profile does allow some curving to get into some curvy spots that some of the other blades is a little bit harder on. So there's good and bad. I believe this is the only lacquer razor I have. I don't know why, because they're wonderful. And I think I may have just caught what I told myself I wasn't going to catch. Darn it. The only thing that's harder about this one is there's no thumb notch. So when you put your hands and you try to lock in for the fool's pass, you got to be real careful that you don't roll your finger over the top of the blade. Not that I've ever done that. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Pretty good. Yeah, a little bit of cleanup, not much. There's one spot in my chin has been driving me crazy. It doesn't happen over there. And I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Like I said, with this razor, a little bit more cleanup usually. There we go. May have to refresh this blade just a little bit. I mean, it still feels good and smooth and everything else, but I think it could be a little bit better. Let's see what the Allen says today. nothing. So I didn't eat my skin too bad. We'll go over all the stuff we used. I mean, obviously you saw the picture at the front end of the video, but or on my title page. But we'll go over it. Nice shave. And okay, so for the razor again, we use the Wacker Chevalier 6/8. Just a wonderful, wonderful razor, and just beautifully adorned. For the brush, we use the Eric Sorrentino Corleone. Just a beautiful brush. The camera does not give it justice, all the different colors that are in this. For the shaving soap today, we used WCS Soloist. Now, this was an homage to the EDT that we're going to be using today. There's a couple of them out here. There's Blue Note, which is made by Ethos, but all in this realm of Boozy, Smokey, you know, late night at a bar type thing. So really good stuff, though. If you like the boozy, you know, the boozy scents. We used Quinn's Lavender today on that. Now, the Soloist aftershave is what they call a recovery splash. To me, it is an aftershave milk. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's an aftershave milk, and really nice on the face. And the fragrance, you know, for an aftershave lasts pretty well, and it's a dead ringer for Jazz Club. Let that dry down a little bit. Put everything away because your shave done must be neat and tidy. Okay, and for our talc today, we are going to be using Yardley Gold. Now, this kind of fits the bill because it's a little spicy, and it kind of brings out, you know how different spices will bring out the flavor of stuff? This is kind of the same thing with talc. This, a little bit spicy, a little bit pungent. It takes away any sweetness and leaves, it brings out the smoke notes, and it brings out the boozy notes, but also has a softness to it that is really, really nice. And if you're not using talc already, with us coming into the summer humid months, start. You will really, really, really appreciate using the talc, especially if you work outside, but even if you don't, it's just nice. Well, obviously at the barbershop, I've got talc coming out the wazoo, but I keep it in the middle of the day, if it's been a long day, just a little bit of aftershave and some talc, and it's like it's a brand new morning. So that's kind of cool as well. So make sure you take a look at that. Okay, and for our EDT today, Replica Jazz Club. And the coolest bottles, I think, and they're refillable. How many EDT bottles do you have that are refillable? Okay, that's it, folks, for the Breaking Bad boozy, wonderful, smoky shave for today. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Monday again, and thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and joining the channel. We really, really appreciate it. We're getting close. I think we're at 970 today. So 30 more, and we're almost there. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Monday again, and I'll probably see you again tomorrow. This is Barber Dave, Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. Come see us at the Cadre. Take care.